Hey everybody, I had some really good moments when I was making my 7-month video. I watched a lot of my old content and I decided there are things that I have forgotten, some lessons and epiphanies. I decided to compile all of those and share them with you. The first one, writing down non-scale victories. A lot of you probably saw the video where a couple months ago was super down on myself because I wasn't losing weight, and then Scott came up with this brilliant idea to write it down and it helped immensely. I am now realizing it is so important that Scott's interrupting me because he wants me to show you this. We got this today and I'm going to move all my non-scale victories to it, but I'm going to have a book. I'm gonna put all of them together of all my non-scale victories. So anytime I feel hard on myself or disappointed, I'm just gonna open this puppy up and I'm gonna look at the pages of non-scale victories that I have had so far in the past 7 months. Because the minute we start getting down on ourselves, I realized I'm forgetting about being grateful. I forget about being grateful for all the things I've had, all my experiences, the good and the bad, because they are what shaped me to who I am today. If I never got 360 pounds, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys right now. And honestly, it has been an honor and a pleasure to share my journey with all of you. Write your non-scale victories down. Visit them daily if you have to, but write them. I'm gonna do mine and then I'm going to take a picture and share with you guys my pages that I rewrite into this one book. My lesson epiphany 2 is giving ourselves grace. Grace is unearned forgiveness. We are all human. None of us are perfect. We hold ourselves, specifically ourselves, to this unobtainable perfection standard, and then when we don't meet it, I'm so hard on myself. But that's the irony. We can never attain perfection. No one can. No living human has or can. So why do we do that? So when we make mistakes, giving ourselves grace, forgiveness, acceptance, that is all what grace is about. You can truly give yourself grace when we are honest, full of integrity, understand why we did it. That is really what allows us to give ourselves true grace. I do have to say to this, I am not perfect at this. None of these rules am I. Part of these I forgot, so this is great for me to do. This is a journey, and to me it's a never-ending journey no matter how much I weigh. It is practicing, rinse and repeat with these things I've learned, because again, none of us are perfect. Number 3 is letting go. This is not just about food. This is about anything. When our mind gets stuck on something, it's like being on a rat wheel that never stops. It's called perseverating, and boy, my mind is excellent at it. Letting things go, letting mistakes go, letting bad habits go, letting just mean, shame, guilt thoughts go. It is a hard thing. It really is. And I think it just takes practice of doing it over and over. And you know, the best way is, I always say the monkey with the banana in the cage. For those of you who don't know, how they catch monkeys is they take a banana, put it in a small cage. The cage is too small to pull the banana out through the sides. Put it in the middle of a banana field. Literally, the monkey will go to the banana in a cage, stick its arm in there, even though it's surrounded by bananas, and it will absolutely thrash around till it exhausts itself, versus letting go of that banana and going to an easier one. That is what we do with our baggage, luggage, emotions, you name it. We will hold on to that banana. And I have found I'm much faster at releasing the banana when I pick it back up than I have ever been. So, super important lesson, I think, is letting go. If you make a mistake, not beating yourself up and going down that spiral of shame and guilt, understand why it happened and then let it go.
To be honest, the way I look at that analogy is the bananas yesterday. And trying to hold on to yesterday and like what you did wrong or didn't do right, or whatever, or nostalgia even, holding on to that prevents you from getting a fresh banana, which is a new day off the tree.
So the banana's like the past.
Banana's the past. You just got to let go.
It's very well said. Number 4, and I think this is a huge one. It's for me, and I see it in others too. Not focusing on how many pounds you've lost, how fast you're going to lose them, or how fast we think we should. None of us got overweight, obese, any of this overnight or over just a month. It was years of bad habits and bad eating and sickness, you name it, that caused this. Yes, in today's society, everybody wants it and they want it now, but anything worth having takes time and effort and requires us and our character to grow. Think about it. Things that are easy to get, do we ever really appreciate them? No. Why? Because we didn't put the hard work in. So for me, I have to keep reminding myself at times, the number doesn't actually matter. If it's going down, great. It's going to go as fast as it's going to go, and maybe I do stall at certain points, then I need to problem solve to figure out if it's something that I'm doing or my body just needs that period to take a break. But focusing on that takes away from the main reason we're doing this. Everybody's why is going to be a little bit different, but truly to boil it down for me is I want to be about life. I want to participate in life. The weight and what it does to me mentally prevents that and slows that down for me. So focusing on it, stressing out about it, all of this just hurts our progress. Also, it just occurred to me, by focusing on the weight and the number, we are not, me, focusing on the right thing in the sense of why or how we got there. Because we're so stuck on focusing on that number, we're not actually looking at our actions, our thoughts, our perceptions, and how that number even got to where it got. So if you have to throw the scale away or hide it, or I weigh once a week, I've actually mentally let go of this. I'll probably pick it up at some point again and have to remind myself by watching this video again. Let it go. That leads into our number 5, which is self-reflection, introspection. This, in my opinion, is vital. What we eat is half the battle. The other half is the mental component of how we got where we got. And the only way we can figure that out is by looking inside. No one else has the answer. I cannot answer this for anyone else but Amanda, for myself. Can't even answer it for Scott. We have to look at those dark, scary places inside ourselves, take a very bright flashlight with you, and I have found the things that I've been so fearful of, like admitting I ate food out of a trash can. I thought I was the only human in the world, well, went to the trash can after I threw it away, that ever did that. And I felt such shame and guilt. But let me tell you, after watching the video that I just put out, I cannot believe how many other people have experienced it as well, not just me. Take a really bright flashlight and go delving inside. Seek answers and truly want them, because sometimes I feel like our consciousness hides things that we don't think we can handle, but I promise every one of us is strong enough to do it if we just give ourselves the chance to look inside. Number 6, setting ourselves up for success. What does that even mean? It means if you are hungry, don't go to the grocery store. If you have to go to a party, make sure you eat before you go. We know, because I know I do, when I eat bad, it is always because I did not set myself up for success. Like going to the grocery store hungry. I have done that before. Having things in the house that I know I can't resist. We had some dark chocolate, granted it was very dark chocolate, and I found myself every few days munching on a square here and there, and I realized, holy crap, I've just been eating chocolate 3 or 4 times in the week, even if it's a small square. So I had Scott get rid of it. Scott got rid of it by trying to eat it all. I don't suggest that.
A whole bar, that's fine.
But setting ourselves up for success. So I removed that out of my environment. No longer do I have any access to chocolate because I can easily walk by candy in the store now and honestly not even look at it. Making sure that I have time available to walk the dogs and not squishing my schedule so full that I don't feel like I have time anymore. Making sure you have things like electrolytes, salts, magnesium, these kinds of things can help with keto flu, or as I call it, carb withdrawal, because it is a huge thing in carnivore, whether you're new or you exercise a lot. That is the one thing that we have to ensure that we do is getting enough salt. So I like to use LMNT, LMNT. I prefer the unflavored kind because I don't want anything sweet in my diet. I'm a carb addict, sugar addict, so nothing sweet that I drink or eat. So this is really helpful. They have a ton of other flavors though, like this one's orange salt, and they have a whole sample pack here. The best part for me is it has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 16 milligrams of magnesium. I have started walking a lot more. Scott and I actually recently just did like a 3.5 mile walk, and we're starting to do weightlifting. So these things are really great for us to use daily because I just sometimes don't salt enough and I sweat a lot because, you know, I sweat a lot. I have a lot of allergies and I have autoimmune issues. So with LMNT, the nice thing is there's no artificial colors, there's no gluten, there's no sugar of any kind, and there's no junk in it, which is really good for me. Something else that is definitely a benefit, at times when I'm not using my LMNT, I don't eat enough salt and sometimes I'll get headaches. So this really works for helping with headaches, cramps, fatigue, and actually with my sleep as well. With your order of LMNT, you will get the 8-pack sample pack. It has all the flavors in it for you. To get it, all you have to do is go to drinklmnt.com/carnivorous me. So it's drinklmnt.com/carnivorous me. These are the things that we can do. Cleaning out our cupboards, doing the things that we know that would help us aid in our goals. Here's another big one, number 7, admitting our addictions. This was probably over my entire 7-month journey, the biggest moment for myself. When I realized I had been selfish, and please don't take it when I say I've been selfish as I'm shame and guilt, because when I say that, I don't feel any shame or guilt. It's just a matter of fact. It's just a statement. I was selfish. I put my wants and needs before Scott's or my family's wants and needs. Admitting that was so powerful, because if I made the choice to be selfish, I, Amanda, have the choice to not be selfish. Yes, the addiction made it extremely hard and difficult and helped guide me down the path of being selfish. But if I'm truly honest with myself, deep down inside, I made the choice to follow my addiction. It is a powerful, powerful statement. It is not a statement made to shame or guilt. It is a statement of control, because if it was my addiction that made all those choices, then I never have any power to make a different choice. It is always the addiction's fault. It is always what is controlling me versus, no, I made these decisions myself with a little help, but I made these decisions myself. Super, super powerful moment for me, admitting that. Number 8, doing the small things. And what I mean by that is cleaning that paper that's been sitting on your desk for a year, putting up a Christmas ornament that I've walked past 50,000 times. These small things take up space in our brain, and if you have 50 small things you haven't done, it's stress. You might not realize it, but once you start doing them, man, did I feel like I could breathe easier just doing those small things in life. It has nothing to do with food, but doing them, it opens places up in the head that I didn't even realize were stuffed full of to-do lists. The best part about it is our minds respond to doing these tasks by giving us dopamine. Dopamine is our motivation molecule. The more you do, The more you want to do, the better you feel about yourself. And so it's just like this really good upward cycle. However, the more you don't do, the less dopamine you get, the less you want to do, the more down you get. So it can go either way. So do those small things. Even one thing a day, you will start to feel so good about yourself. And the better we feel about ourselves, I found the more I want to do my goals in life, the more I'm on that path and not deviating off because I'm proud of myself. Number 9 is be active wherever you're at. There is always, with losing weight and getting healthy, this huge push for exercise. I'm talking about when I was 360 pounds, going up one set of stairs was literally a workout for me. I started small. I could hardly walk a couple hundred feet with a walker. I started really small, week by week, adding a little distance till 7 months later, Scott and I are walking 3.5 miles some days. Not only that, in the house, I would force myself to stand at the sink and wash the dishes despite excruciating pain I would feel in my low back because I was so heavy and had so much abdominal weight. Doing the laundry, cleaning the house, vacuuming, little bites at a time. I would vacuum half a floor, sit down for a little bit, vacuum the rest of the floor. Be active in whatever it is. Don't think you have to go from being sedentary to powerlifting and jogging 10 miles a day because we'll just hurt ourselves. The small things add up, and I am an absolute example of that. I kid you not, when I say I had to use a walker for a few hundred feet and then I'd have to sit down because my back hurt so bad, to now no walker, over 3 miles most days. Number 10, organize your surroundings. This kind of goes with doing the small things, but on a slightly larger scale. When our house is a mess, our room, and I'm not talking like to a perfection standard, but things are out of order, you can't find stuff, I just feel crappy. I can't think straight. It just feels like all those little to-do things are on my brain and I don't have the full mental power to focus on what I'm doing. And it feels like my space is just a mess, because it is. Cleaning up areas, even if it's one at a time, it feels so good to have things where they belong, know how to get them, and it also frees up so much time and energy and space when things are the way they're supposed to be. Number 11, I don't have 11 fingers, so we'll just say number 11. 11!
I don't know if that came up. Oh, it did, yes.
Set up your environment. This kind of goes hand in hand with organizing, but it's slightly different. If you want to journal or read and not be on your electronics, create a space that has no power cords near it, that has no computer or any kind of electronics, so you aren't tempted in that space to use them. This is really important. You want to exercise? Well, set up a space that you can do it that doesn't have a TV or things that are going to distract you. Remove the distraction from whatever you're trying to achieve in that space. Yes, it would be nice to have designated spaces all throughout the house, but let's be realistic, most houses aren't big enough. But even just a chair in a corner of a room that you want to make your like a little reading nook, these are great tactics to use to try to help encourage us through our environment to complete tasks or things that we want to do. Number 12 is integrity. I have always pondered on my past failures in a sense of diet and why I never made it where I should have, right? I'd lose weight, but then something would happen, I'd fall off, and then I'd gain it back, plus more, obviously, over time. And I've come to realize that it's lack of integrity that I had. I would lie to myself in the sense of, oh, just one bite, or oh, just one meal. And I gave myself excuses, and then I believed my excuses, which were lies, that eventually then led down to I fell off. It eroded my internals. Our integrity is, I think, synonymous to our honor. When we lie, we lose pieces of ourself, and if we lie enough, we no longer have self. And that is such a big thing. Even white lies, even lies that you think aren't harmful, or someone asks for your honest opinion and you don't want to hurt their feelings and you lie to them. Mean things don't have to be said. Nothing has to be said. As Jordan Peterson in his 12 rules said, it is better to not say anything than lie. If you feel like you have to lie, don't say anything. Our integrity is essential to the foundation of who we are and what motivates us towards the good. No integrity, no motivation. That is the biggest thing that I found. Number 13, this is actually one of the titles of one of Jordan Peterson's chapters in 12 Rules for Life. It's treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. And I can't think of any other better way than to say that. In that chapter, he specifically talks about how we are great about giving our animals and people who depend on us exactly what they need. Our dogs need drugs. Guess what? They're getting it, 8 and 9, whatever time they have to get it, they get it. But then when it comes to us, we don't. We don't take care of ourselves. And I think this is a valuable, valuable lesson. We can also look at is if you have a child and let's say that child is overweight or struggling in some way, and candy is what got them overweight. Are you going to continue to give them candy? I hope the answer is no, because you need to do what is best for them, not what they want. They want the candy, but you have to consider what is best for them. So why don't we do that for ourselves? And that's why I think this is a very, very important thing to think of. We need to take care of ourselves like we're taking care of someone else. So, me being overweight, obese, diabetic, all that, to truly take care of myself, I had to stop feeding myself cake. It was a really, really good perspective change in understanding I am not depriving myself of foods or food groups. I'm giving myself what I need, not what I want. Number 14, compare yourself to yourself, not others. We are all unique individuals going through unique journeys. There is not one other person like you that has gone through the events and situations that you have. So why compare where you're at, weight, finances, power, position to anybody else? It's an apple-to-apple comparison when we look at where we were yesterday versus where some random person was or celebrity was. And the thing is nobody's life is perfect. Nobody's life is glamorous all the time. And a lot of these influencers and celebrities, you only get to see the snippets of when their life is the greatest. They have boring periods of time. They have struggles. It just never gets talked about. Taking that into consideration, compare today's you to yesterday's you. Even if it's 0.5% better, are you heading towards the good? If the answer is yes, then wonderful. If it's not, then what can we change? Don't look at people's lives. Specifically, don't look at my weight loss and think that you're failing if you can't keep up with me, because I doubt most of you weigh 360 pounds. I have a lot to lose still. Our bodies and our lives are different, so appreciate that you are where you're at and you are who you are because of your experiences, not mine. Number 15, and the last one, but one of, I think, the top 5 important ones. And this also comes from Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules, is pursue what is meaningful, not expedient. We kind of talked about this a little bit, but nothing easily given in life has value to us. Things we work hard for, we strive for, we struggle for, those are what is important to us. These journeys that we go through, if they were easy, they'd be meaningless. But they're not. They are a struggle. It's trial by fire. We come in as just like a piece of raw metal and come out a beautiful, whatever, sword. I don't know, but something. It is trial by fire. I guess you could say gems. That probably would be,
chandelier, something, not a sword. I don't know.
You come in as a raw gem, you go through your journey, and you get just refined into something beautiful and pristine. And that is what this is all about. Pursuing the meaningful. Just aiming for, I want to weigh X pounds. What does that actually mean? So you hit, I want to weigh 120 pounds. Then what is your life about? it's not meaningful because there is an end to it. Things that have meaning really don't have an ending to it. I want to help people. I want to decrease a little bit of the misery in this world. I will never be done doing that. Day to day, through YouTube, through my interactions with people, it is a meaningful thing because it gives my life meaning. Find yours. I have no idea what it's going to be, and everybody's going to be different. But once you find that, it is so easy to move forward on this path because it leaves no other option but to move forward. Yes, stumbles happen. That's all right. But it doesn't mean I'm ever going to go backwards. I'm always going to be going forward. Reflecting on my journey so far, looking back at 2022, these are the 15 things. Use a notebook, write down your non-scale victories. Give yourself grace. Let go of mistakes and bad decisions. Focus not on the number on the scale. Self-reflect, introspection. Set yourself up for success. Admit the addictions. Do small things. Get that dopamine high from doing them. Be active in wherever you're at. Organize your surroundings. Set up your environment. Have integrity, and if you don't have it, I didn't do this, but if you don't, or you feel like you're lacking integrity, restore it. Admit it, be honest about it, and that will restore your integrity. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Compare yourself to yourself, not others. And last, pursue what is meaningful. These are fundamentally, I think, if I could boil down my journey, these would be the top 15 things that I have learned in the past 7 months. And I hope that some of you guys can get some meaning out of it, because I probably in a few weeks will come back and watch this video again, because a lot of this is extremely powerful for me. I appreciate every one of you so very much. Thank you for listening. Again, if you made it this far, you're amazing. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. What's not coagulate? What?
Coalesce, converge.
What when you put things together? What's the word? It's not that.
Compile.
Yes, it's compile. That's such a difficult word. These occurred in no particular order, so stay along for the ride. Almost said gratitude-y.
Gratuity. Gotta pay myself.
Please don't hit the wrong button. We're gonna be like, the whole rest of this video is gonna be like, slow-mo, because you hit the wrong button. Introspection. Wait.
Here's what I found.
I did not ask you, Siri. You're so rude.